I realized that for my study program, over 600 people had applied and only 15 international students were picked, and I was so privileged to be among them. These positions are quite competitive and you need to be on your A game to get accepted to study in this school. I feel like my motivation letter played a big role in my getting accepted. I want to know, is it that you just want to leave your country and come to a country, or do you actually want to study? Are you gonna be beneficial to your country after taking this study program?
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side.
Hey guys, on this video I'm going to share with you 10 tips to help you get accepted to study abroad, whether it's in Norway or whether it's in another countries. If you want to further your studies abroad, I'm gonna share with you some tips to help you get accepted into this school and, you know, back that admission letter. So without much further ado, let's get straight into it. I am a master's student pursuing my master's degree in international environmental studies in Norway, and I had shared a lot about my journey even up to getting here in terms of my education background in the previous videos, which I can link here and also in the description box. When I started thinking of moving abroad and I wanted to do to apply for a master's degree, I was doubting myself so much. I was like, will I get accepted? It's not like I didn't pass in my bachelors, I had good grades, but it's just that I was like, is this even the path that I want with my life? Do I want to go back to school or anything? But I'm assuming if you're watching this video, you definitely have made the decision, as I did at a certain point, that yes, I want to further my studies. I mean, guys, education increases your opportunities in life. It exposes you to many aspects of life that you did not know. I absolutely have no regret. I feel so proud of myself at this point to have made the decision to come study in Norway and to basically just upgrade my studies, further my studies, because I feel like from what I'm studying right now, I am learning and I'm finding so many perspectives on different things. Studying abroad generally will expose you, so I would highly recommend furthering your studies and also studying abroad. Also, the quality of education is honestly so amazing. You meet many people from different cultures. You will basically, guys, your mind will be opened to so many possibilities in life that you would not even have thought of. Like, I am honestly in a different thought perspective from how I was when I was in Kenya. Like, there are things right now I can dream of that I couldn't dream of when I was in Kenya, because I feel like coming here has broadened my thinking. It has given me the opportunity to see the many possibilities that are there in life, basically. So I would highly encourage you, if you're thinking of applying to study abroad, go for it. And if you are like me, you don't feel like you are so qualified, or you don't feel like you will get accepted, you're doubting yourself and your abilities, imagine you can. If I'm doing it, trust me you can, and others have done it, so you also can do it. So I am here to give you the tips and to help you get accepted to that school. I had actually applied to study in the US before even I applied to Norway, and got accepted. And I had applied to Norway previously at the University of Bergen, and they told me that I have qualified, but there are people who qualified more than me, so they were given the chance, but I can accept to be in the waiting list, which I did, but I still didn't get the opportunity, but I did not give up. So even though you have applied before and you've not gotten admitted, don't give up. Just find out, what do you think from your application made you, and most schools will communicate. Like, I from all the schools I've applied to, I've always gotten a response, whether it's positive or negative. So learn from that lesson of why didn't it get accepted, and work on that. If it's documents you did not submit on time, next time submit documents on time. So in most schools that I have applied to, or I have seen the application process, the documents you require mostly are your education transcripts from your university, school documents. So then you would need to document that as well. Then most schools will ask for a motivation letter, which can also be called a statement of purpose. There are different ways to call it, but at the end of the day, it's why do you want us to accept you as a student in our school to pursue this study program that you want to pursue. Before you even think of applying to study in Norway or whatever country you want to apply to, first of all, you need to do thorough research, guys. Like, don't just watch one video and be like, that's it, that's the country I want to go to. No, check out, like, I find like on YouTube there is so much information. For example, I'm not the only person who is creating content on studying in Norway. There are so many other people. Listen to different people, because everybody has their own different perspective. There is something this person might say and the other person might not say, but basically the point is have details and information about the program that you want to study. And especially because when you have information about the program you're going to study, you're gonna use that information when writing your motivation letter, and it's going to give you much advantage over other students applying for the same program. So first of all, to increase your chances of getting accepted to a study program, don't just apply to one school and to one study program. Of course, broaden your chances by applying to different schools. Apply to different programs that you are passionate about, please. Education abroad is not a walk in the park. It's actually intense. So you need to first select a study program that you like, even though you're not so passionate, at least something you like and would actually not struggle so much. Most schools will allow you to choose at least 3 programs. Try to look for programs that you like, having the biggest priority to the one that this is like the main one that I want to. So let that be your first option. And then also do the same, like at least apply to a minimum of 3 schools to increase your chances. Guys, you're not the only one who wants to get into that school. There are many people who want to get the same opportunity you're looking for, so you really need to like put effort to make sure that you get that position. The second thing is, in each school you'll be given deadlines that by this time you should have uploaded your transcripts. And for some schools, depending on the country you are from, like for example Ghana, Nigeria, I think the school has to send transcripts directly to the school. For Kenya, I did not have to do that. I just uploaded the transcripts myself. So it was quite an easy process for me. So if you're from a country, you need to see the requirements the school has for your country, because it's not the same for everyone. You'll find that for your country, they don't need language requirements, but for another country, they require. Or for your country, you can upload the documents yourself, the transcripts, but for another one, they might want the school to physically send physical transcripts. You've decided, I want to take, for example, a master's in community health. Find out in this school what are the requirements for this program for my country, and compare it also to another school, because you'll find for this school this is what they require, but if you're applying for the same program in another school, maybe they have different requirements. So you need to have this information. You can have like an Excel sheet on your laptop and write down, so this, I'm applying this program in this school, so these are the documents. Have like a checklist, these are the documents I need, and every time you upload, and also write the deadline so that you make sure you are aware of the deadlines. Make sure you upload everything before the deadlines. Would recommend the earlier you do it, the better. If the deadline is in a week's time, you should have already uploaded, to just be at the top of the game. So don't be ignorant. If there is something you're not sure of, always send an email. In every school, you'll find that there is an email of somebody to help international students, for example. So always write to the school for clarification and any questions that you require. There is also always a student advisor, which is something I really wish I used. the student advisor. You can use them to like guide you in selecting the programs as well, finding more information on, for example, tell them about your background, what you're passionate about, and they would help you select a program in their school. So all these are resources that you can use as well. And I feel like if you have all that information, it also increases your chances. So I realized that for my study program, over 600 people had applied. Between 500 and 600 people had applied, and only 15 international students were picked, and I was so privileged to be among them. It made me realize that these positions are quite competitive, and you need to be on your A game to get accepted. I feel like my motivation letter played a big role in my getting accepted. So as I mentioned, the motivation letter is where you state your intentions. Why do you want to apply to this program, and why should we pick you? What are your goals after studying this program? Is it that you want to help your country, or they want to know, is it that you just want to leave your country and come to a country, or do you actually want to study, and are you gonna be beneficial taking this study program? So that's important for them. It's important for you to pass this information and sell yourself in your motivation letter. And for me, like, that's what I did. I researched on how to write a good motivation letter, and I followed those steps, and I actually wrote it. And of course, some people pay other people to do it for them, but I would actually advise you to write your own motivation letter. From my experience when I was writing it, it was like a time of reflecting. Honestly, why do I want to really do this thing? What am I really passionate about? How can I use this program for my future? And of course, to benefit people in the different parts of the world or in my country. A tip in writing a good motivation letter. I'm sure you faced through some challenges in life. Like, for example, if you're from Africa, some of us went through some difficult challenges even in our pursuit of education. Talk about a challenge you've experienced in life, but don't just leave it at the challenge. It's like you're showing them, oh, I'm from a poor family. You're not the only person who has gone through challenges. So you've written that these are the challenges that I went through. Show them, how did you overcome these challenges? I, of course, shared my challenges, and I also sort of sold myself on how I overcame those challenges. For example, you can say, so I'm coming from a very humble background. My parents did not have enough money to pay my school fees. I had very many challenges here and there in my pursuit of education, but I was very passionate about my education. So even though I was sent away from school, I would work hard at home. I would take extra discussions with my classmates, ask them to update me on what they've been taught in school. I worked very hard and managed to get good grades, went to the university. You see, like, sell your story, sell how you've overcome challenges in life. It can also be at your workplace. You realize that in my country there is this challenge, maybe there is corruption, and it gave me the passion to study political science because I want to be a better leader and help my country overcome corruption and come up with strategies for the betterment of my country. And you can apply that in different things. You can apply it like, I am passionate about helping people. You are a charitable person. Due to that passion, for example, you have volunteered with some organizations, and these are some of the programs you undertook. How did you participate? What value did you add? Like, in short, you really need to sell yourself in your motivation letter. For example, if you're applying for a master's degree in a health related field, of course, then they should say in your CV that you have some experience, even though you didn't have a job. Maybe you volunteered. That's why it's also important, if you are applying or planning to apply to study abroad, it's important to start volunteering, doing internships with some organizations, as this will also help build your CV. So you might not have jobs, and there might not be jobs that you can apply to, or maybe you've applied and you've not gotten the jobs, but you can always volunteer for the sake of having experience and building your CV. as well as doing internships. Trust me guys, those are very, very helpful. And I feel like once you have those, you have uploaded your documents on time, you have a good CV, you have a good motivation letter, you have your transcripts, then honestly guys, you should be accepted to that program. And of course, have faith in God, believe in yourself, believe that you're gonna get accepted. Before you see something, you have to believe it. You have to see it in your mind that I am going to get that position. You can apply and then start doubting, will I get? I don't think I'll get accepted. The moment you start focusing on the negative, that I will not, then it will not happen. So you have to also be positive and start even preparing mentally. I remember when I even before I got I had applied to many schools, and I was so sure that it's my time to leave this country because I am sure I'm gonna get accepted. Even when I got the admission letter, I was so sure that I will get the visa. These things, you have to do it by force. It's not chances. These things, the Bible says, the violent take it by force. And this is like a spiritual thing. So before everything is manifested physically, it's there spiritually. So you believe it and receive it spiritually before you receive it physically. Yeah. Anyway, I wish you guys all the best in whatever programs you're applying for. My main points would be research. Have a lot of information, even the country. Even before you decide that I want to study abroad, then you need to decide which country am I interested in. Example, a country I would love to work in. Also, you need to prepare financially. You need money if you're going to study abroad. Whether it's a country where the tuition is free like Norway, you will still need money for living expenses. And it's important to start thinking of, how am I gonna generate this money? How am I gonna get this money? Even for the documentation of funds. You can apply, of course, for scholarships to help you with the living expenses, or to pay tuition fee if you are applying to a school that, to a country that you will need to pay tuition fee. But also, I would advise also saving up. Start saving. The moment you make the decision that you're going to apply to study abroad, start saving up. If you need a huge amount of money, for example, to document funds, then you can also start talking to family members, people can help you raise this money. And of course, it can be a loan, but if it's a loan, the person is giving you a loan, then it shouldn't be something that you need to refund urgently. Immediately I get to Norway, I'm gonna give you back your money. No. Even though you start working, I feel like you will still use the money. Yes, you loaned maybe to show the school or the embassy that, yes, this is the money. You will still use that money when you get to that country, because you need money for transport, you need money for food. And it can be quite expensive, especially in countries like Norway. It's so expensive. So if you borrow someone money, then you need to tell them that it might take me some few months before I refund your money, but maybe you can give them an interest. But point is, start thinking of how you will get the money, developing some skills that can help you make money, like digital skills that you can monetize, online jobs. Start thinking also in those terms as a means of generating money when you are in another country. Before you get work, before you settle in, you will need to have a source of income. So those are some of the tips. If you have a tip that I have not shared and maybe you're studying abroad, please leave a comment and just share that tip. Someone watching the video might go to the comment section and say, this is actually also a good tip. And also, if you have questions pertaining studying, especially in Norway, because that's what I know, please leave them at the comment section below and I will be glad to answer. So I wish you guys all the best on your journey to further your studies. I hope that you get those admissions, and go for it. There's so many advantages in studying abroad, and I would highly encourage you. But of course, do thorough research before applying, and also consider there are different factors to consider when choosing a specific country. For example, when I was choosing to study in Norway, it's not just about Norway having free tuition fee. There are other aspects to Norway that I liked, and of course maybe something like I have some family members here, so I would like, you get, it's not just about maybe this is the school that has my program and it's only in this country, so I'm going to go to that country. There are other things to evaluate. Also, like, Norway is a very, very cold country. Or it's not throughout the year, but the winters can be very cold. There are some days it's always dark. I have not experienced that myself, but it's something like I am prepared for mentally. I know it's gonna come, and I am prepared for it. So, like, I hope that all these tips help you to back that admission letter. If you have not watched my previous videos where I shared about the application process and the schools you can apply in Norway, I have a playlist with the different videos about studying in Norway, which I will include here, and also I'll leave a card at the end of the video, so check them out. And if you know someone they would benefit who'd like to study in Norway, you can share with them as well. Also, subscribe to the channel if you have not subscribed. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that the tips help you get that admission letter and move to your dream school and your dream country. I am looking forward to comments of those of you who will come to study in Norway, get admission to study here, or whatever country you get admission to. I wish you guys all the best. Thank you for watching the video. Until the next one, kwaheri.